Hi, I'm Caroline Richards from the University of Birmingham. This is a brief summary of why understanding how behaviour can be learnt is important when we're thinking about the well-being and difficult behaviours of people with severe intellectual disability and complex needs. Learnt behaviour is probably the most common cause of difficult behaviours such as self-injury and aggression. The model of learnt behaviour tells us that children's behaviours don't occur in isolation. They occur in response to triggers or antecedents and are made more likely or rewarded by the consequences that follow them. These triggers or antecedents and consequences can be internal or external. Let me give you an example. A child at school might be asked to do a matching task that they find difficult. The request to do the task is the antecedent. The child then begins to headbang and understandably an adult intervenes. The headbanging is the behaviour. When the adult intervenes, the task is removed, however briefly, so that the child can be cared for. The removal of the task is the consequence. This antecedent, behaviour, consequence, or ABC pattern can be inadvertently repeated, so that over time the learning is reinforced, and the next time the child is in a similar situation, they're more likely to show the same headbanging behaviour. As such, learning can be a cause of challenging behaviour because over time, behaviours become reinforced or maintained by the consequences that follow them. Challenging behaviours acquire a function or a purpose. They function to communicate children's important needs, like, this is too difficult for me, I need a break, or I need your help, or I need your attention. The learning model also interacts with other checklist items. Pain, sensory experiences, and other internal states can be a direct trigger or antecedent for behaviour. Background factors like tiredness or anxiety can interact with the learning model and make behaviour more likely in response to common triggers. The assessment of learnt behaviour will usually involve observing and documenting what happens just before and just after your child's behaviour. Sometimes using something like an ABC chart, or sometimes working with trained clinicians to conduct systematic assessments of the antecedents and consequences to behaviour. Understanding how behaviours that challenge can be learnt helps us to understand how to intervene. Once we know the function of a behaviour, we can work to reduce triggers or antecedents. We can help children to develop new communicative strategies that convey their needs. And we can think about how best to respond to behaviours so that we don't inadvertently make them more likely. You can find more information about learnt behaviour in people with severe intellectual disability and complex needs online at cerebra.org.uk.